Okay, so I shall start with the role of vessel operator. May I check from you whether a vessel operator is a person or an entity?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Is a vessel operator a person or entity?
Well, we have companies who are classed as vessel operators, but they employ people who are vessel operators. So I think it's the question is a bit not clear.
So basically, based on our client base, is the role of a vessel operator a company or an individual?
I think it depends on the context. In general, I think when we talk in the meetings, it will be vessel operator talking about in general the company. But if there are scenarios when we talk about specific people making decisions or accessing the system or manipulating the data, we can say that, or a vessel operator asked us, and blah, blah, blah. That means a person.
I see. Okay. I would like to share with you this list from here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. So I would like to find out this definition of roles, which currently sits in our RightShip platform. Which of these roles would best describe the role of a vessel operator? Is there any role here in this list that can be referred to as a vessel operator based on your understanding?
I think you would be better asking the question to our global standards team.
Okay.
Because we did not come up with a description of these roles. I don't know how the description of these roles is fed into, all other areas, all other projects and definitions. So I don't want to mislead you.
Okay, sure. So let me continue. What would you think is the role and responsibility of a vessel operator?
Again, this is something that I'm not qualified to answer about role responsibility of the vessel operator, because it depends on the company, and I have never worked in the company who are a vessel operator. I don't have any experience apart from some theoretical knowledge. So you would be better off asking global ops guys, because they would give you a better answer, or whoever came up with definitions. I assume it's them, but if it's not, they will let you know who that was.
Okay, sure. And would you have any understanding of what sort of vessel does a vessel operator operates?
I have some understanding, but again, this is something that standards team would be best to advise. I only have the general knowledge, which is not enough for, I assume, the purposes of the system operations or financial analysis. That should be standards team.
Okay. Okay, I'll just carry on with the questions. If you have any understanding of the role itself based on the questions, then I would like to get it from you. What would be the area that a vessel operator would look into during vessel planning?
Zoe, all these questions that you have, are they about vessel operator?
Yes.
Yes, I think I'm the wrong person to talk to about this. because I'm in a
Okay.
commercial team. I can give you feedback on real life examples of
Mm-hmm.
who the customers are, what they want, what they talk about, all that. The questions that you ask are very specific, and they should be taken up with standards team, not commercial team.
Okay.
I mean,
Sure,
to
sure.
a degree, maybe, to a bit wider, yes. Definitions, examples, yes. Standardized approach, as we have as a office with as a company with PMO and with standards team, something that is so serious that will go into the system, will consider mapping and dashboards and everything else. That's with standards team, and maybe by extension with compliance team, maybe with legal, to see where the borders are between responsibilities and how far we stretch and what type of clients we're looking for and how we're going to classify different companies. So I'm really the wrong person to speak about this. But do you have
I
any other
see.
questions I could answer, or it's all centered around vessel operator?
Uh, Actually, my current research is based on, the three roles, which is a vessel operator, a ship owner, or charterer. Would you have any, uh, you know, any understanding to share about ship owner or a charterer in that case?
In line with the questions they've been asking about vessel operator, I wouldn't want to answer any questions on that because I have only general knowledge, which would be no help to you. I don't mind, and as anybody in commercial, to sort of give feedback on real life application of the roles and activities. But your questioning should be with standards team.
Okay. Is there anything you can share based on, the real life examples that you have mentioned?
In what context?
In the context of these three roles? Maybe not vessel operator, but probably in the context of a ship owner or the charterer.
What sort of information are you after?
Basically, this research is about getting to understand, what does the role of a ship owner or charterer, what do they need? What kind of activities they are working on right now? Is there any pain points that they have? And what sort of features are they using on the RightShip platform? And is there any features that they would like to have, but currently RightShip is not offering?
Okay. In that sense, majority of our clients are looking for more reporting, looking more for reporting function. Um, they would like to know the one thing that we currently, I don't think we're providing. I have asked the question, maybe Power BI team will come back to me, but a lot of people ask about historical change of the score. So, for example, GOC score, and I think that will be, or the vessel score historically. Not, for the vessel, we currently have um, 5 year looking back history. For GOC, we don't have it. I
Yeah.
understand product
Okay.
team is developing that in the sense that they have I think they said that they're looking to do more features that we currently have for the vessels applicable for the DOCs. But we have for the charterers and for the ship owners, ship managers, a lot of them ask about this, about the historical data. I think they would they all ask about more features reporting wise, so it's easier for them to pull out the information, analyze the information. I know we just started with APIs, but that's going slow. It's not on our side, but on the client side, because they have to go for so many internal approvals and um, discussions. So maybe with API, that would be easier. For ship owners, Ship managers, I know there is a feature when we would be providing port state controls feed through API. One of my clients who we're working on API at the moment, general API, they said they were interested in that. So that's quite a good thing to look forward to whenever it's implemented for PSCs. My ship ownership manager clients also, you know, the layout that we have on the history for the process steps when we have, for example, incident closeouts or port state controls closeouts. On the inspection side, quite a bit from what I understand is actually done on email, and then some things are uploaded into the system. That's the part that the clients also sort of mentioned, but I don't know what view the clients have. I don't know whether they have the same view as I do or slightly different, but some of them commented that it's not quite clear on the inspections process because it's on email, not in the system. What else? On GHG, people ask, well, how they can do the verification, which we have button implemented now. There is comparison. There is sister vessels. Some charterers and some ship managers, when they look at specific vessels, they use the graph that we have for the distribution of the peer group, which they find very useful. So hoping moving forward that will be you know, kept there and developed further, because we had comments that that was very useful. On GHG rating, again, on implementation, the graph that we have, it doesn't look like it's an interactive graph. Maybe that's something that needs to be updated, but I don't know if it is pulling actual live data, not just, you know, random picture of average information taken from somewhere. Then no need to develop. But if it isn't, and it is not an interactive graph, that's something that would be very helpful for our clients, ship owners, ship managers, and probably for the charters, just to see where things are. What else? For the access of information, it's double-edged sword. Some of our ship owners, ship managers, well, most of them would like to see other people's information. Some of them don't want other people to see their information. So
what sort of other information are they
well, for example,
looking out for? Yeah.
Safety score, everyone looks at safety score, everyone looks at GAG score. So some of the ship owners, ship managers, they would be looking, I mean, charters as well, even the ones that we have vetting product with, they wouldn't necessarily the vet for each and every vessel. They might look at 5 or 6, so looking just at the score, nothing else. At safety score, sometimes GAG score. So that is a subject that is kind of tricky. So the question of you know, how, if we're implementing safeguards, how they're going to work. Also, there is a concern about people being able to access other people's information. For example, can they upload the documentation into port state control or incident closeout for another company? Or can they create one or delete one for another company, that sort of thing. But it's very sort of wild and far-fetched, but we had questions like that. What else? Yeah, kind of in a way that for ship ownership managers, better sort of access to the data, better reporting, so that they have a better view. a lot of questions we get, well, every day probably, why the safety score has changed. So maybe 50, I don't want to say 50%, it varies, but sometimes we're able to answer the question straight away. Sometimes we have to ask the analysts, and this is sort of something that our clients is mentioning, because when it's not very clear to see why the safety score has changed, and even if we click on the hyperlink where they say safety score dropped from 4 to 3, sometimes it's not enough information that gives them gives them the idea why the score has dropped. So in that sense, that's something that we have quite a few questions. I think that's sort of the main, you know, the main day-to-day sort of bulk of comments that we get. We have some advice on GHG improvement in the system, but it's sort of very standardized at the moment. We do get questions from the client saying, "Oh, what we can do to do better." So maybe advice on the side can be expanded. I mean, if possible, because I know the questions that we get asked are specialized. So sometimes we say we can't advise you, go to the manufacturers, go to your, you know, other companies that you work with, shipyards. So because we're not qualified and we wouldn't want liability to advise from our side. But if there is a way to improve that feedback that people see on the website, that would be helpful for ship ownership managers. Charterers are also looking at GHG rating, but that's sort of not from obviously improvement side. They're just general overview and comparison of the vessels. I don't have many sort of queries from them. On carbon accounting side, it's sort of straightforward. I only have one contracted client who uses carbon accounting, but when we do the demos with charterers and ship ownership managers, on the plus side, they sorry, I have a cat who is quite getting on in years, so she's quite vocal. So you can remove her from the transcript.
Sure.
So for carbon accounting and on the plus side, they like the product and they say, oh yeah, that looks good, that looks good. So I don't have anything negative to say there. But on other side, unfortunately, because it doesn't have enough, you know, to just pass the interest, right? To get more clients on the system to get to use them. Unfortunately, there is, you know, not much feedback on that side. Otherwise, that would be something something positive there. We have on the charter side on the product, which is their main one, the vetting one. We do get questions on a bit more detail on the outcome of the vet. That is something that you'll be better off talking about to vetting superintendents, because that's started with how much information we disclose. So sometimes the operator would ask questions on things that we would have to ask ship owners separately if they're happy to share. So I can't tell you there if, you know, if they ask for more, saying, oh, why this is like that. Sometimes it's just not the question of whether we give feedback, like one sentence feedback, or we're not allowed to do that, and we have to go to ship owners to get some documents, and that's sort of that part. I know that there is feedback of this nature, but I can't give you more details on that because, you know, I'm not connected and I don't have expertise to comment on that side. So that's probably with Georgian and standards team and ops team in general. On the inspection side, we have again questions when we have the vetting outcome. What are the reasons for reduced inspections validity? And sometimes the clients comment that it would be good if they could see on the system, what instead of 12 months, why they were given 6 months, for example, and what was the factor for the inspector to decide. Again, that's something with inspections team. I can't comment further on that because maybe we wouldn't want to give that much feedback. We wouldn't want to show that in the system to the clients. Sorry, it's not much, but that's sort of the basic things that we get asked in general. Looking at expanding what we're offering, the main trends from the clients are, well, for charters, they talk about obviously more data, more reporting. From ship owners, ship managers, they always want to see where their vessels are as compared to other companies, and what they need to do to improve things. So maybe, or when the things can get improved. So maybe if we could show something like that. I know it's a projection, but we get a lot of questions of this nature when the DOC score improves, when the vessel score improves. So if there was something to show them, roughly, if all going well, that's probably something that would help them.
Okay, so it's more like a predictive kind of data that they are looking for?
Yes, I know it's again, it's controversial. I know if we do a lot of that, people might think, go for projections and then say, oh, it wasn't right. But we get a lot of questions on this, a lot. I would say every other day, because it's very, some companies monitor that every day. And as you know, some vessel scores can be on the border, for example, with two values. So that's quite concerning for them. And they say, well, why is it we just be in this score, nothing happened, and it goes to another, if it goes down, they're very upset. And then they say, well, why is it such a minute change in something and it's, has an impact? Some of our clients have charter parties fixed, which we always tell them they shouldn't be, and we're not advocating for that, but they do have charter parties fixed for score written in charter patch, say no less than 3, and that's obviously a problem for them. So, and it's quite frustrating for them that even if they didn't do anything, somehow the peer group changed, or one of the old good PSCs dropped off the time frame from 4 years ago. Now they don't have enough subscore to be in a 3 bracket. That kind of stuff. So they obviously, when there is a realization that there's nothing can be done, at least what they want to know when things will improve. So that's something that we get comments a lot on.
Okay. So basically there is a concern that, on the level of score,
Yes.
whereby, when it drops.
Yes.
So so the feedback is more about how can we have a more predictive data
Yes.
before the score drops.
Well,
is that what they are looking out for?
with the questions that we get, no, I didn't think that far when the score is going to drop. The main questions we get when the score drops, that's when we get the question when it's going to improve, when the DOC will improve, the DOC score will improve. Also, I mean, from our side, if it's a vessel, we can kind of tell, oh, look at the sub-scores, look at the graphs, and without asking analysts, roughly we can say, where the vessel is at. With DOC score, it's not quite visible in the same manner. So that's something that we will internally and from our clients, that's what we all sort of noticed.
I see. So meaning the DOC score is not that transparent?
Yes.
How do you get any feedback on how can we improve the DOC scores so that it's more visible and transparent to the target group?
On DOC score, it's one side is what was the historical data for DOC score, and to the future when the score is going to change, so improve basically. That's the main one that we get asked about.
Okay. Anything else you would like to add on based on the feedbacks that you get?
No, I think I've mentioned the main concerns for our clients, so I think that's it. But if I think of anything, I'll message you.
Is there a big difference on the kind of feedback that we get from a ship owner versus a charterer?
Well, we talk about different things really, because we look at opposite sides of the process. Charterers are more looking at what the result is, and owners obviously care about maintaining good results and improving the results. So, I mean, other members of the team might have different type of charterers who would be asking different questions. But that's apart from the reporting, that's the main one from me.
Are there different types of charterers in our customer base?
Yes, there would be. All companies are different.
Would you be able to provide us with a few customer names that maybe eventually we can reach out to?
I would be able to do that once you decided what you want to get the feedback on.
Okay,
Because
sure.
with our customers, we need to speak to them first. We need to identify the customers first, depends on what it is. And then reach out to them, and then advise the product team for that particular matter, and that I think would be the same for all the commercial team, because the one thing that we don't want 100% is that our customers just randomly approached about just about anything, because that would be just annoying for them. So that I think will be the same for all of us. We would need to know in advance what it is that the customers need to be approached about, even if it's clear that it's just one type of client, for example, the charterers. We would need to know what it is that we want feedback on, and that then we will decide who we can present to you.
Sure. I'll get back to you on that on a later date. Okay. Before we close this session, is there any other feedback that you would like to add on?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
I will reach out to you again
Mhm.
when I get a bit more feedback based on
Yep.
these roles.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
Thank you
Yep.
so much,
Thank you
Tatyana.
very much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. I see
Have
you
a nice
soon.
evening. Thank you. Bye bye.
You too. Good week. Thank you. Take care.